My name is JB Bolvedin, and I've built up over the last few years one of the best real estate training companies in the country. I have a huge passion for the business entrepreneurship, and I also have a huge passion for cars. So I decided to get the best real estate entrepreneurs in the country, interview them, and we go through a step-by-step process of what they did to get to where they are today, and we do it driving in some of the best cars on the planet. This is Hot Rides in Real Estate. Welcome to Hot Rides in Real Estate. My name is JB Bolvedin, and this is the Maserati Ghibli SQ4. It's controversial because car enthusiasts love it or hate it, but more importantly, I want to focus your attention on where I'm at. McCary Vineyards, the premier vineyards in Long Island, and more importantly, I have with me David Ilkay here from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. David, what do you say we do this? Let's go for a ride really quick, and then we'll go hit the vineyard after.
You got it.
All right, let's do it.
Baby.
David, thank you so much for taking a ride with me.
No problem, JB. My pleasure.
So, you know, we decided to take a controversial car today.
Yeah.
And here's what I say about it. The Maserati Ghibli is a car that's debated. Some people hate it. They say it's not reliable. It's not a real Maserati, and other people love the car. So we'll have that debate as we go. At the end of the day, you'll tell me what you feel about it. Today's actually really interesting for us, too, because it looks like we have a new president. So that was decided today.
We just found out, yeah?
Yeah, moments ago on the ride over here. So that's interesting, and I guess exciting or worrisome depending on who the person is, how they feel about it.
Exactly.
So, you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about your story because you've done a lot of business in your career. Now you're an owner of a Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Queens, and congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
So we have a lot of success to go over, but before we do, I just wanted people to really understand like who you are. Like, how did you get in this environment? Like, how did you get to this place? How did you even get into the business?
I mean, it was just pure coincidence, JB. One day I mentioned it to you before, I was in a car wash. And I see this Bentley is coming out of a car wash. So I'm walking around the car, admiring it. And this gentleman comes to me and he says, do you want to get one of these? I said, of course. Who wouldn't, right? So he says, here's my card, come and see me tomorrow. And he happened to be a broker, real estate broker, and he told me to go get your license, we can start together. And then from that, it happened. That was the beginning of my career as a real estate professional.
So ironic enough, even though it's hot rides in real estate, a hot ride actually got you into real estate.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So did you ever even think about real estate up until that point?
No, never. I mean, I used to, when I was younger, obviously, I used to watch those infomercials on TV. Carlton Sheet, he used to say, drive around and find a rundown house. I always wondered, why this guy is looking for rundown houses? So, of course, we figured out later, you can, get good deals from them. But that was my only interest before this happened. So after that, I started to, I become a real estate agent and then associate broker, and from that, it took off. So going backwards a little bit to the story, you get into real estate, you got your license, now you're a real estate agent. What was that like, your first year? How did that go? First year, like everything else I do, it was about observations. I sit around and observe the successful people in the office, what they do. And I know there's no shame to copy successful people and what they do successfully. So I started doing the same things, but I realized that I can even take that further up and then make it better.
Yeah.
So I guess I did it. So that's why I'm here today.
That's good. Well, what are some of the challenges you faced in your career initially?
I mean, challenges. I always, like starting a new business. I lack of technical information.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what the Cape House was or Colonial House was. But my motto in business, as you know, fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know certain things, but I always pretended, I could learn, and then I could, get them back later on. So I think I always tell my agents, JB, whatever you do is only maybe 15-20% of that related to your technical knowledge about the business.
Yeah.
The rest of it, the 80%, is your personality. If you have a good personality, you'll make it regardless.
So you got to have the right energy, right personality. That's a huge piece of it. And I think if someone's not getting out of their shell and having regular conversations and getting excited about getting in front of them, regardless of how much they know, may not compensate enough to be successful.
Exactly. Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I mean, personally, in real life, I'm a very shy person. I'm not like a so much outgoing person. But when it comes to business, I mean, if I'm more aggressive than this, I would be arrested. As you can imagine.
So that means you actually are an extroverted person, but it has to have purpose. It's not just for no reason. So you're not the loudest guy at the party, but you're the loudest guy at the negotiating table.
That's true, yeah.
So but that's where it counts. That's where it's most important. What did you enjoy the most about the business when you got into it? Like, what were some things what was your first success, like your first deal? How did that go?
I mean, the pleasure I got first, my pleasure out of this business was like seeing people moving to a new home, and they are so happy, the kids are happy, and I know they're gonna spend many years in that place, and I am one of the reasons they are there. Mm-hmm. So that gave me a pleasure. That pleasure turned out in the development business. Mm-hmm. When we get a rundown house and when we fix it, and then people come and see and they like it, they say, oh my God, what a beautiful house, then that gives you a pleasure also.
Yeah.
You did the right job and you did the right thing. So
that's great. And when you were, just so people can have some background, when you got into real estate, how long? You obviously you came to the United States from Turkey, right?
Correct. From
and how old were you when you came?
I was 21, and actually I finished law school in Istanbul to become a criminal defense lawyer. I practiced there like a year and a half with like very important cases also, because I worked with a very famous attorney there. And so my background is law, because I always suspense and find out what happened.
Yeah.
So that that's how I become an attorney. But then here I was studying. I got my MBA from New York Institute of Technology, because I always liked marketing. I always liked business. I mean, since I was a kid, when I was like 6-7 years old, I turned my sister's crib into a stand in the house, and I sold household items to the guests who were coming. And then when I get my money, I used to iron that money and put it in between the books so it stays straight. So I was like really into business since I was a kid. But the expectations from your family, they want you to become a lawyer, become a doctor. So I never thought of going into the business for myself. But when I came to the US, I realized that you can do anything here,
right? And
it's gonna be okay. So that's how I got into the business side of my life, let's say.
And if what were you thinking as far as, let's say that at the car wash that Bentley never happened, you didn't get into real estate, where was your mind heading up until that point?
Still, I was heading to having my own business. I mean, anything at that point, but I always crave for the bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I said, what is the biggest ticket item you can sell? I mean, it's gonna be either cars or it's gonna be homes. So, you know, it became home just because of, you know, that was like a reason, excuse to get into the business, I believe.
Yeah, that's great.
Hi, my name is Ryan Riddle, Director of Sales here at Cliffco Mortgage Bankers. I hope you're enjoying the show. Hey, listen, in 2021, we want to see you and all our referral partners succeed. So we have created a revolutionary way of transforming the real estate industry. If you want to become a mega agent, contact us now at success@cliffcomortgagebankers.com. Thank you.
So now that you get into real estate, how many years are you doing real estate as before you become a broker?
As an agent,
Yeah.
I was only agent for like few years, and then you know, of course, I want to improve myself. I got my associate broker license, just in case if I wanted to open my own, you know, office. But on the way, you are realizing that it doesn't worth it to open your own office. It's always better to, you know, use a brand name.
Right.
So you don't invent the wheel, you know.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah. You didn't want to reinvent the wheel, and then that's how you it led up to opening up your current office.
Yeah, I mean, this office, you know, I was with another big company before for many years, but my current partners, they bring me this offer. We have exclusive rights to Queens, Brooklyn, and Long Island with Berkshire Hathaway.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's Berkshire Hathaway is not only in real estate; they are all over the place, as you know.
Right.
So that's attracted to me. I said, okay, this is it for me. So I put all my, you know, energy and investments and knowledge into this business. So hopefully we are gonna make it really good here.
Now, question for you: how did you go about having you got into real estate investing?
Yes.
And with real estate investing, that's something that you've been doing on a regular basis. And I know you're fixing and flipping. You're holding too?
Some, yeah.
Okay, so you're holding some deals also. So how did that start? Like, when did you get into that?
Well, it started because, as you can imagine, at the beginning I didn't have enough money to invest.
Mm-hmm.
So I was finding investment properties for other people, for investors.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped them to fix it also because they didn't have too much time. So then I realized that, you know, the money you put in to to investments doesn't have to be your own money. You can always get money as long as you have a good deal.
Right.
And that's how I started to doing all my own deals, you know, instead of helping others to make money.
Yeah. You know, I think a lot of people don't realize this, and maybe you can help debunk this. If you're good at getting deals, money's the easiest part.
Easiest part.
So, because I think a lot of people think like, I don't have the money. If I had the money, then I could do it. I need the money first. And they don't realize that as long as you have the deal, you can get the money.
Exactly right. I always tell my agents, everything starts with the lead and whoever controls the lead. And then you control the whole deal.
Right.
Money is going to come after that. The buyers are going to come. I mean, that's, you know, the originating is defined in the deal itself.
Right. Which is so important. Because let's talk about it, because I know you're very heavy in real estate investing. And I think that's where, I know you're a real estate broker. You had prior to being a broker, you had a successful team. But I also know your passion is in investing and growing.
It is.
So, and a lot of people that watch the show want to learn more about that. So how did you actually, like, how do you find now let's say someone's new in the business, they don't have a lot of money or any money, but they have courage. What's the advice you would give to them to get started in investing in real estate?
Well, as you said, it needs some guts to start this, you know, doing the investment properties. But again, since, as I said at the beginning, you can always copy successful people.
Yeah.
Look at the successful investors, what they do, how they do it. And then you bring it to your own environment or own market and try to do the same things. For me, I like certain things in my life. I don't like uncertainty.
Right.
So certain things means I have to control the deal. If I'm doing a short sale, I know I am in control of that deal.
Right.
I am the one who's giving the offer to the bank, and when they answer, I'm the one who's going to decide this is a good deal or not good deal.
And let's pause for 1 second. I like where this is going. I just want to, so for anyone who's watching that maybe not be familiar with a short sale is essentially a home that has a mortgage on it that's for more money than what the house is selling for.
Exactly.
Example, $500,000 mortgage, but selling for $325,000. That's a short sale. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically we are telling the bank, we know we owe you 500,
right,
but would you take 300?
Right.
And then depending on their answer, you calculate your costs, and then you calculate the selling price. And if you think there's enough margin, you accept the offer and you proceed with the deal. If not, you can always turn around and sell that deal to end users.
Right.
Like it's a good deal for them.
Right.
And as you know, they can get 2 or 3K loan and then fix it themselves, and get
right,
a good house with lower than
price.
The market value.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Control is one good factor.
Control is good, one good factor. I mean, as you know, we go to auctions also.
Yeah.
Every county in the United States has an auction for these type of houses because the banks foreclose on the property, and as you know, they are not in the business of maintaining houses.
Right.
So they have to sell this, and one of the ways they sell it is they put it in the auction, and sometimes they get much less than the current market value.
Yeah.
So if you know what you're doing, if you can calculate your margins correctly, you can make so much money in the auctions also.
Yeah. So there is options there, and also you lead generate too. You find your own deals that aren't necessarily.
Oh yeah. Lead generation starts with list pendants. We call it list pendants. That means pending litigation.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is not paying the mortgage 3 consecutive months, this becomes a public knowledge. Anybody can see this. So if they are not paying the mortgage, they have certain options. Obviously, they can try to modify their loan, cut another deal with the bank.
Yeah.
This is actually more difficult than getting the mortgage originally, because you have to prove the bank now
you don't have money.
you don't have money, but you're still trying to make some kind of arrangement with the bank.
Exactly.
So 80-90% of the time it's not going to work. So the other option they have is doing a short sale like we discussed. You can use a professional and negotiate with the bank if they're going to give you a good deal. The best part of the short sales are you're saving your credit, believe it or not. Because if you do a successful short sale, after 2 years, you will be able to go back and buy another house.
Which is not a long time to recover from.
No. So that's one thing. And then again, in a short sale situation, you're in control of everything as a homeowner also, because nobody's gonna just foreclose on you and you're gonna be in the auction next month.
Right. And you have a say over what offer you want to take at what terms. It's not being routed around you.
Exactly. And then the other option is doing nothing, and you say, I'm going to take my chances because there's an urban legend in the market. Your neighbor is going to tell you, your friends are going to tell you, oh, don't worry about not paying the mortgage. I know people live there in their house 7-10 years. Sometimes, JB, it's true.
Yes.
I mean, I know people like they didn't pay the mortgage 8 years, they are still there and they are not foreclosed on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean any time they're going to foreclose on you.
Yeah.
Or I know houses, the guy didn't pay the mortgage for 3 months. After 6 months, I see him in the auction. Depends how fast the bank moves, how the judge is busy or not busy. So, I mean, this is for the people, they don't want to take chances with their, future.
Yeah.
It's the best way to do is a short sale, and then, you know where you're going, you know what your next step is, you save your credit, and you're done.
Hi, I'm Nick Ramondi with Insua Capital Group. We're Long Island's #1 fix and flip lender. If you're in the market for your next investment property, we can lend you 90% of the purchase price and 100% of the renovation cost. For more information, give me a call, 631-428-6928, or you can send me an email. My information is below.
Which is very important to look at it that way. So it's a win-win where basically it sounds like a lot of business that you like to do is short sale based.
I love short sales because again, that's also helping people. Even sometimes they think like you're taking advantage of them. Actually, it's not, because you're helping them to save their credit, give them a certainty about the future, right? And I just want to make one distinction, JB. Everybody thinks like short sales, like we discuss it right now, you owe money to the bank, and when you sell the house in regular market price, you're not going to be able to pay to the bank, right? You cannot pay off the bank. There are situations that homeowners have equity in their home, but they are still not able to pay their mortgage. And that's even worse, because those people, they think, oh, my house worth 500,000, I only owe like 200 to the bank, nothing is going to happen to me.
No, they're more likely to take it because they have equity.
You cannot be more wrong than that.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to lose your home, and you're going to still lose your equity, because if the bank put your house in the auction, you have to pay the referee fees, the attorney fees, the auction fees, right?
Yeah.
Instead of selling regularly and getting your money, you waste that money also.
Absolutely. That's a big misconception, and some people think that, in my opinion, and from my experience, when there's a lot of equity in a home, a bank is more opportunistic to accelerate a foreclosure process, because there's actually a higher end for them to recover their money.
You're right.
When a house is super negative equity, they're more likely to negotiate with you, because it's really not in their best interest to take the house. They'd rather, if they can figure out a way to get the money from you in payments or modification, it's better for them. So that definitely is a huge misconception. It's a very dangerous way to think, because you can lose, for some people, their life's savings, their life's work, their biggest asset, because they're under the false conception that nothing can happen to them.
And I don't want to sound like everything about investments are short sales or auctions. I have a friend, actually, he does investments also. He buys properties from regular MLS listings, right? And his niche is he use all cash offers, get the house in a certain discount, and then he improves the marketability of the house.
Right.
Like make a nice facade, and then inside is like painted and all that, and he still makes so much money as an investor.
Even going to the most expensive place, which is MLS.
MLS.
That's buying retail, basically.
Exactly. So, and he does, I know him personally, he does many deals, all of them from MLS, and he still makes a lot of money.
Which most investors would tell you that buying from MLS is just a terrible idea.
They would, they would.
But not for this guy.
No.
So, just so people can understand where they can get some properties from, there's an auction, public auction. There's MLS, multiple listing services, which is publicly listed and very much set up to be sold at the highest amount. Then there's also self-generated, where you're finding list pendants, or you're finding another scenario where there's a property.
Yes, as I said, those are public records.
Yeah.
You can always find people who are not paying the mortgage. You can approach them and tell them their options. And once they trust you, they can cooperate with you. You can do a short sale for the property and either purchase it or sell it to somebody else. And besides that, again, the Carlton sheet example, if you're in your neighborhood, any neighborhood, JB, you're gonna find this. A rundown vacant house, right? So that means the owner lost interest in this house.
Right.
They are not even in the house anymore.
Right.
So if you find the owner of that property and tell them, look, whatever the circumstances are, either they are not paying the mortgage, or they didn't have to pay the taxes, money have the taxes, and then whatever. You can always approach them so easily and tell them, look, I can still get you some money for your home that is vacant and run down.
Yeah.
And I have another friend of mine, you know her also. That's her business. She goes and she finds these houses, she puts them under contract with the homeowner, and then she turns around and sell those contracts. She doesn't even touch the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is wholesaling.
Wholesaling, that's what we call wholesaling. So I mean, many ways of making money in real estate as an investor. And all you have to do is just know your abilities, I guess, and then your limits.
Yeah, and then once there, you're able to get bigger with it. So here's the difference. Here's what I see you as. You're definitely a businessman who happens to be doing real estate, not a real estate agent. I don't look at you as a real estate agent or real estate broker. I look at you as a businessman in the real estate business. Is that a good assumption? Is that a good way to look at it?
Assumption. I'm just using my license as a tool,
right?
To research properties and then have access to certain fields. But in my heart, I'm a business person. As I said before, it can be anything, buy and sell. I could have been a car dealer.
Right.
But again, this is the biggest ticket item for me, and it gives me pleasure to know that people enjoy my products at the end.
Right.
And they spend so many years there. That makes me happy too.
That's very important. It's good. So it's very fulfilling.
Yeah. And I remember I was telling you before, after a certain age, your legacy is important too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to leave something behind, a good reputation, good, let's say, investment properties for your family, so they can, live on, so on and so forth.
Yeah, which is very important because that's what makes you immortal. I have an example. I always ask people, what is your great-grandfather's name? I ask people this question all the time, and 95% can't tell me. They don't know. And what I say is that I'm sure, as far as a person, amazing person, but because sometimes when you're going to build a legacy, us as a body, we expire eventually. But when we create enough where it just keeps contributing for a long time to the rest and rest and rest, you become immortal. And you're able to help and contribute still long after, you're gone.
Exactly. And I always believe that we are put in this world, the chances of being born, right, is like very slim.
Oh yeah.
So there's a reason you're here. This is not just you're passing by the life and doing nothing.
Right.
I always consider myself, I want to live up to my potential, God-given potential.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
You have to have a reason to be here.
Right.
And you have to push your limits. I mean, what else more I can do?
Yeah.
I am never satisfied what I have. I mean, all my life, you can see my career. I started as an agent. I become like a short sales specialist. Always improve yourself.
Absolutely.
Even when you're investing, improve yourself.
We're gonna go straight. We still have some more interviewing to do. Sorry. All right, sorry.
No problem.
So
let me have water too.
Yeah.
How is it going? Good, you think?
Good, yeah, it's fine. You're gonna like it a lot. I figure, instead of talking about it as like a real estate agent or a broker, that's not you're a businessman. So if we talk about it from a business perspective, it's better. Because I feel like that's where the passion's at. You're not like, the way you do a listing presentation is like this. That's not what it's more like.
That's not me.
Yeah. So going back to, now you're a broker owner, and congratulations again, by the way.
Thank you.
On your new office. It's an amazing office, and I think a lot of people are gonna have amazing opportunities working there. Now, as a real estate broker, what's your number one goal for your agents and the people working with you and for you?
I tell my agents the same thing over and over again. I tell them, I want you to make money. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I feel responsible. I have single mothers with kids. They have to support their family, and the real estate is their full-time job.
Right.
So as a manager, or whatever you want to call me, my responsibility, make sure that they make money.
Yeah.
And I show them, as far as I know, how to make money in real estate. And again, not only for commissions, but they can be a part of the investment properties also.
Right.
And there are examples of this in the market. I know many offices, they all get together, they do investments together, they share the profit together, as you know.
Yeah.
So my goal, again, just for them to make money and be happy and improve their life, improve their family's life. And most of them, I tell them, I want you to have investment properties for your family, for your kids, for your grandkids.
Right.
So it's the same passion and goals I have. I'm trying to implement on the agents that in my office, and of course some of them understand, and they work hard and towards that goal. They do the tasks, but again, you're gonna always have somebody like part-timer or not interested. They have another job.
Right.
Those are fine too, but whoever is there full-time and willing to do it, I will help them. That's my goal.
So you're there. You want your people to be successful. You want them to do well, and you're going to do whatever it takes to help them. But they have to want it too. You're not going to want it more than them.
Exactly, and I always prepare them, psychologically also.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, one of the reasons that people leave the real estate industry because they are frustrated.
Right.
Why? Because they work, let's say they are working 2-3 months and they are not making anything.
Right.
And they say, okay, this is not for me. But did you try? Did you give your 100%? Did you do the right things?
And that's
Most of the time the answer is no.
Yeah.
You just coming to the office, they should understand in this business, and looking at your computer screen is not going to make you money.
Yeah.
You have to be out there. You have to be knocking on the doors. You have to making phone calls. You have to sending out flyers, postcards, whatever. You have to be in front of people all the time. Otherwise, the business is not going to fall from the sky, and then
Yeah.
you'll make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If that was a strategy, we'd all do it, right?
Yeah.
If something happened for nothing. I think a lot of people don't realize this business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. If you do it, you can become very successful, but you just have to follow the rules. I think a lot of people want to be convinced that once I see the money, then I'll believe it. But then if you don't believe it, you'll never see the money.
Exactly.
And you have to be able to also not get emotional. Sometimes, people tell you no. Deals fall apart. There's some deals that when you really need the money, they fall apart. But you can't think like that. You just have to understand that, it's a game, and in a game you score points, they score points. Hopefully you always have more points than them.
And you have to increase your possibilities, because if you have one deal and you obsess about that deal, and if that falls through, then you're done.
Yeah.
Right? But if you have 10 deals going on, even you lose half of them, you're still gonna get 5 deals.
Right. That's why you got to fill your pipeline. Always make sure the
Exactly.
pipeline is full, which is super, super, super important.
And another thing that people don't know, there's a misconception. They say, oh, okay, real estate, when you sell a house, you get paid, and blah blah. Actually, real estate can be a regular paycheck also.
Yeah,
If you are
absolutely.
doing the activities every single week, like you're making phone calls, you're doing this, you're doing that,
Yeah.
that's gonna come back to you as a regular paycheck. You're gonna have closings, or 2 closings, 3 closings every single week.
Yeah.
So that's another misconception about the business. They think, oh, you just sell a house once in a while,
Yeah.
and then you get paid.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a rare thing. It's like
yeah,
almost
very
like,
rare.
like you're winning a scratch off or something. Yeah.
It's not like that. It can be a regular income producing business, and most of the time, as you know, it pays you much more than any other job can pay.
Oh yeah, absolutely, big time. And that's one of the most important pieces that I think a lot of people don't realize is that it's a very, very lucrative career if it's done the right way. By far, it's just incredible. And the thing about real estate that I think a lot of people don't realize is, think about all the jobs that are high paying. Let's say you want to become an attorney or a doctor. Great careers.
Yes.
The amount of education required to get the credential just to even do it is tremendous. And in the state of New York, and I know in different states it's different hours, but a 75-hour course, we're talking about a week, like 2 weeks, 2 weeks of education, and you can have a multi-million-dollar career.
Exactly, JB. And not only that, but like one of my top attorneys, right?
Yeah,
I know her very long time, and I know how they work. She doesn't even have like 10 minutes to herself.
right.
Always on the phone, always doing this. In real estate, you have a very flexible schedule,
Right.
but you shouldn't use that flexibility disadvantage you.
Exactly.
take your business seriously. Do it like a regular job. Come to the office 9, leave the office 7, 8 o'clock. Why? Because there are so many things in real estate you can do during the day.
Absolutely.
It's not just, oh, I'm gonna spend like 2 hours in the office and then make 2 calls and I'm done. No.
No, it's not like that at all. It's being able to understand that any of your activity is what pays you, not even your time. So some people think I came to the office, I didn't make money. Well, you got to do stuff there too.
Exactly, because you were there just 2 hours and then you left.
Yeah.
And I know many successful agents, I'm sure you do also. I know some agents in the office, JB, until 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, they are already doing great business, but they know they have to be there that long to even get more and improve themselves more.
Right. It's just vital.
It's vital, and it's you cannot take anything granted in this business. I always say you're as good as your last deal.
Yes.
You cannot just mention like what you did 10 years ago and you were a great agent. Who cares? You have to prove yourself today, right this minute.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're gonna fade away.
And yeah, and it happens fast.
Oh, it happens very fast, believe me.
I think a lot of agents, the mistake they make financially is they work with clients, they get these checks, they make some money, then they stop working with everyone, they use all the money, and then they stop like that.
I had friends like that. You know, when they make money, they take like 3 months off,
Yeah.
and you never see them. And then when the money finished, they come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I can't live like that.
No, I can. I mean, that's the you know, different personalities, different goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as I said, this for me is not only making money. Is I have responsibilities for other people to make money also.
Absolutely.
So it's not only my time. You know, my agents. You can ask them, like, you know me, like, it takes me 10 o'clock. You'll get an answer 10:01.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be next day.
That's true.
Why? Because I'm passionate. I wanna give them what I want.
Right.
I want everything right away, and I want them have everything right away also.
Yeah. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
So anyone watching right now thinking of getting into real estate, what's your advice to them?
First of all, my advice is you have to financially secure yourself at least for 3-4 months, because it takes time in real estate things to start happening.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you sell a house, as you know, today, you're gonna get paid maybe in 60 days.
Right.
So prepare yourself for that period. You're not gonna have income. Make sure you are financially secure. Psychologically, this is a very, very frustrating business. Like you said, you think the deal is happening, the next day deal is not happening.
All right, David, it's the same question I ask in every episode. The producer tells us not to go fast. Should we launch this car?
It's up to you. I like fast. Oh my god. That's fast. Now I understand Charles.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Okay, no more scaring you now.
How many kilometers we are going up to?
Maybe up to like here. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
I know you made a commitment when you're coming on this show. You're not going to scream like Charles did.
Yeah, I know.
No matter what happens.
I was close to, right?
Yeah. No matter what, you said, I'm not going to scream like Charles. We could have driven off a building, you would have been quiet.
I know, right? Very determined.
Well, thank you for going for the ride with me.
No, but Charles was, I mean, like... That was funny.
So, now we got to have some fun with this car. And, you know, what I want to do is, like, in closing, someone looking to get into real estate, what's your best advice to them? What should they do?
Well, once again, is you have to give yourself a little time, at least like 3-4 months, financially and psychologically. You prepare yourself and do the activities every day instead of just doing once whenever you feel like it. And then follow the lead of the successful agents in your office. Even be a part of a team if you can, which is like
A productive team.
a productive team that can teach you things very fast, and if you're willing to, of course, learn it,
Right.
and then you just apply it to yourself and then take it from there. But one thing you shouldn't do, don't box yourself, saying that I'm too old, too young, not experienced. These things, you're just stopping yourself.
Yeah.
So, as I said, it sounds like a cliche. It sounds like a very like a street smart things to say, but fake it until you make it.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best advice I can give the new agents. Just pretend. Obviously, you're acting professional. You're dressing professionally, and knowledge, you can always go back home and find out what it was, and then go back to your clients or customers.
Yeah.
So don't limit yourself, because again, like, you're too young, you don't have enough knowledge. You can all overcome these things.
Yeah. That's great advice. It really is. And the best thing about it is, if they want to learn and they live in the area, they can contact you and work at your brokerage with you, right? Look at this. We have phone calls during the episode.
Anybody welcomes to my office. They can call me, they can stop by the office, and we have a very good location there, corner of Hillside Avenue and Francis Lewis Boulevard, and I'll help them as much as I can.
Yeah, and hopefully they could be the next top guns of the industry, working under you, with you.
Definitely, and you never know. I mean, if you don't try it, you will never know.
Right.
So you have to just give it a try and see what your potential is, and sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised what you can do.
Absolutely, 100%. David Ilkay, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, JV. Thanks for having me in this fast car.
Yeah. You approve of the car?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So it's not controversial. You recommend it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
You heard it from David Ilkay.